Joy and Slick Rick are back, but be sure to check out Slick Rick Bucher's new NBA notebook on foxsports.com. Plug. So, Slick, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your concern level for LeBron James?
I'm going to go a solid but conservative 7. And that's because we're 9 games into the season, and this is already the second injury that we've seen LeBron suffer. And they're soft tissue injuries where he came out of the previous game and we weren't even aware that he was actually hurt. Misses 2 games with a sore ankle. Now we have the abdominal strain. No indication in the previous game that that anything had happened or that he wasn't going to be available. And now it's going to be a week. And Marcellus, you know about abdominal strains. Those are tricky. Those and groins, anything in the core, man, staying on top of those and getting healthy can be really, really difficult.
Yeah.
The other element to this is that the Lakers simply can't win without LeBron. And that wasn't supposed to be the plan in bringing in a Russell Westbrook and a Carmelo Anthony and all of these guys that are on the top 75 list. The thought was, we don't have to play LeBron a whole lot of minutes during the regular season. We kind of coast and ease him to the end and then utilize him. This team is 1-2 without him, and that one win is an overtime win against the San Antonio Spurs. 2 losses against the Oklahoma City Thunder after leading by 19 and 26. So they can't survive without him playing and closing games. And you add that to being 37 and already starting to have those nagging injuries that come along with age, and it is not a good place to be. So I feel as if I'm actually giving him the benefit of the doubt and simply going with a 7.
Oh, man, I'm much lower than that. I'm a 4. And I only said 4 because I have some slight concern, but then I had to temper my thoughts and expectations and realize that, who am I talking about? LeBron James. Oh, who is LeBron James? A basketball genius, also very calculated. And because he's so calculated, he's come up with a new calculation at this tender age of 36, 37 this year as he plays. Guess what he says? If I'm not 100%, I ain't stepping on that court. Because 2 things he knows. 1, the basketball season doesn't even start until December, Christmas game, and then afterwards. And then 2, it really doesn't start until playoff basketball. And what undermined us last year? Injuries. Not only to myself, but also to AD, who is constantly and always injured. Now, LeBron makes this calculation and he says, you know what? When I'm at 99% on my diagnostics, 98%, whatever it is, if it's not 100, I'm not playing. Oh, my ankle, tweaked my ankle. You know what? Got to miss a couple games. Oh, my abdominal strain. I don't know if that's an abdominal strain. Did I eat too much? Whatever it is, I don't feel perfect. And guess what? Not only is that going to help me because at this age, I got to go out there and measure myself. I can't sprint this marathon. But more importantly, it's going to help the others come together as glue. LeBron knows wherever he goes, whatever team he goes to, he's going to get his. I got to make sure a team with 11 new players need to come together and be cohesive. And I wonder if it's working. In performance, you can see some signs of it working. AD's averaging 25 and 12. Damn, AD, go get it. Westbrook is averaging 28 and 8. Westbrook? Really? And if you look at it, Carmelo is shooting 52 from 3. The guys he's going to need most going forward are the guys that are starting to get their confidence in this system as Los Angeles Lakers. Add it all up, this is a simple test of LeBron as a rookie. Oh, the diagnostic test is at 60%. As long as I feel okay, I'm out there playing. But now when you're LeBron James, the one that they know, they hang their hopes on, if I ain't 100, I ain't going on that court.
I'm at a 6. So I guess I'm in the middle. I'm a little more than halfway concerned.
You're closer to me.
I'm leaning towards being concerned. But my concern is because this is the oldest team in the league, and health is going to be a conversation for them throughout the entire season. Now, we know, to Marcellus's point, LeBron is impeccable when it comes to taking care of his body. He is an outlier. He is in the Tom Brady category. The two of them are just in their own space. They spend an obscene amount of money on their bodies. They take care of it. Everything is top of the line. So it's never going to be a question of if LeBron is going to do everything he needs to do to be healthy, and is he going to maintain that. So I'm not concerned about that, but it is a little strange to be seeing this so consistently now. This is the second one, to Ric's point, early in the season. But again, my panic is not going to start until after the All-Star break. Then I will start getting wiggly about this team, because there are a lot of new pieces here. They are older pieces. Yes, Westbrook is putting up some good statistics, which we expected and wanted, but we're going to need things like what happened at the end of the game last night to not happen. So while they're sorting those things out, if LeBron isn't healthy, he shouldn't be out there. But it is a little concerning to see it with LeBron, because we know how long he's been playing, and he has been Iron Man for so long that it's just a little jarring to be talking about LeBron and injuries and not being available. But again, I will trust in LeBron James that he knows what's best for his body and that he has a plan for all of these pieces. He and Frank Vogel, I'm sure, are on the same page. So it's just concerning because it's LeBron and it's 2 now, but it's still very early. And I actually think it may benefit the Lakers to allow all these pieces to be out there without him.
Yes.
And sort out things like what happened at the end of the game last night without LeBron there to save the day, because, you know, Westbrook does need to start making some other kinds of decisions. And if LeBron's out there to just win the game, then that might not happen. So, silver lining.
Silver lining.
Okay. If I had known the two of you were going to provide me all the material I needed to make my case, I wouldn't have prepared for this segment.
You would have went last.
Thank you for all that you gave me.
What?
Because, first of all, let me go, Joy, I'll work backward. Joy, you made the point that LeBron takes care of his body in much the same way that Tom Brady does. How many times have we seen Tom Brady have to deal with nagging injuries over the last couple of years, or have an issue where he's got to miss a game because suddenly something comes up that we didn't expect? It's the fact that LeBron is so devoted to taking care of his body, and yet he is still suffering these nagging injuries that says to me something different is going on here, and he's paying the price of all those minutes and all those years that he has played to this point. So that's where the distinction is. It's like LeBron takes care of his body, and it's still breaking down now where he can't play. To your point, Marcellus, 11 new players. Playing with LeBron is a completely different animal than playing with anybody else. If they are going to have the synchronicity that they need at the end of the year to play for a championship, this can't be 11 guys in LeBron. Because when LeBron's in there, everything changes. It becomes all about LeBron. And these guys have no experience doing that. So they need LeBron to be on the floor, and they need to find that. And I love the fact that you pointed out all those offensive statistics and didn't mention anything about the other end of the floor, which is where this Lakers team has some serious issues and some serious things to work out. And that's why this is the biggest issue, is this team was supposed to be built so that they didn't have to rely on LeBron James. And what I am seeing is, in spite of all that star talent, they need LeBron James more than ever. And over the long course of the season and then into the playoffs, that is not a recipe for success.
Man, Slick, I don't know what part of sports you missed in terms of the outcome. And you always start going with your old school, showing your age. Oh, it's about great defenses. The best defense is a greater offense. Like, you got to score the most points. That's why I always focus in on offense, because, hey, a great defense in football, we held them to 3 points. How many they scored? How many we scored? Oh, we lost. Because their defense in that situation, you know what I'm talking about. Here's the thing. I like your points. You had me boxed in for a second there, and then I realized, in the NBA, they're not protecting their players like they are in the NFL. In the NBA, they tell you you can't load manage. So now, guess what players are realizing? We know how to manage the load. It's a little different. Tom Brady, he could play forever. He could play till he's 50, 60 in a violent sport of football because they protect the quarterback. But when you look at LeBron in basketball, 36, 37, that's dog years, because one, the body, athleticism. In basketball, it's going to wane way faster than it is a quarterback who's being protected by NFL that doesn't even care about load management. I digress. And Tom Brady's been dealing with that nagging MCL that he finally got done and all that stuff, but I digress. Here's the thing I want you to understand about these Lakers. Only team in the NBA with three players averaging over 20 points per game. That matters because when you get the straw, as I call it, the guy who can work with anybody, LeBron James the Great, just like me in this broadcast, and I can work with anybody, Slick Rick, Joy, Taylor, Manuel Acho. I ain't gonna say the rest of them names because they ain't here.